Gomez and Company here. Lisa live from the loft at the home office as we welcome in Joe Convertino Jr. from CH Insurance and a cup of Joe this morning. Joe, man, we just had a similar conversation not that long ago about Hurricane Helene, and now you get Hurricane Milton. And I know that you have family down in Florida. Was everybody able to get out of the way of this one?
Yes. Good morning, Gomez and Lisa. It seems like every time we do our cup of Joe, there's tornadoes, storms, hurricanes. This was just awful. My daughters do live in St. Pete, as you guys know, and they evacuated Monday night, believe it or not, because they were planning a weekend with my other daughter this weekend in Raleigh for the SUNC state game, so they did get out. Most people got out. We've got a lot of clients and friends in that area, like probably all of you guys, and it's just to see that devastation, loss of life, hopefully not. It's just awful to have that happen, and they're saying it's one of the worst in probably the history of Florida.
I saw one of the estimates, and nobody will really know, Joe, obviously, until they get a good look at it and the storm stops and they can start first making sure everybody's safe and then cleaning up. But $60 billion potentially or more in damages from that end of it?
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably a low number, Gomez. It's just, the state of Florida has, there's been capacity issues with insurance anyway down there. And, hopefully the state will step up, FEMA, all the things that we've been, hearing and reading about this week. And, I believe in, that's why you have to step up in a state level or federal level for issues like this. This is just not good.
So, Joe, if I'm a person with a house on the beach and I rebuilt after storms in, years and years ago, right? Hypothetically, right. I built a house on stilts. Everything's going fine. No, I hit 70 years since a hurricane has hit Tampa, and all of a sudden, here it comes, and it takes my house out to sea into the ocean. And that plot of land where I built my house, are they going to let me build another house on that? Or is it just, what do you do?
Yeah, well, depending on how the jurisdiction reads there. I mean, once it's cleared out, you still own the land, Amy. That happened down, if you remember, Fort Myers 2 years ago. Yeah. People were just rebuilding or not just selling a plot of land. But yeah, you could rebuild. You could rebuild, or you could just, sell the plot of land and say, we're getting the heck out of here. But it's the rain you saw. We all watch the news. It's just awful. But 12 to 16 inches of rain is just rain, right? You know what happens up here when we get 5 inches of rain.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And then so picture 12 inches, and then you got storm surge, and then I just heard a term this morning, reverse storm surge in Tampa. Yeah. How, I don't understand it. I'm not a meteorologist. You'll have to ask Wayne Mahar. But there's reverse storm surge that's happening in Tampa and St. Pete today, which affects more flooding coming in. But, people right now are, you don't even want to think insurance right now, right?
Oh, sure.
You just want to think safety, getting everything out, making sure everybody's safe, power back on. They don't even want people stepping outside, right, until it's safe enough.
What a mess, Joe. And I know if someone is in Florida and lives in an area that maybe this is the third time in the past 2 years that they've had to call their local insurance person, whoever that happens to be, for damages, maybe like a total loss, depending on where they are. How does that affect that end of it? If you keep going back to the well here.
Well, that end of it, remember, your first thing is there's probably, I would say hundreds, a lot of restoration companies down there that are just cleaning everything up, right? I think there's companies up in the Northeast that drive down there, and these storm chasers do help, get all the destruction out of there. The main thing is getting the water out, right? But and then you just hope these insurance companies set up. They bring mobile units down, guys. You'll see all these mobile units from each carrier, and they're just in there and, hopefully helping, giving cell phones, giving food, cutting checks, all that stuff. And then you still got the same issue. Hopefully they have flood insurance, right?
Yeah.
Do you have flood? And I was talking to someone earlier in the week down there, guys. It's what they call name stormed. Obviously, this was a name storm, so a name stormed hurricane takes a different deductible than a normal deductible, right, of theft and fire and wind. So, there was problems down there to begin with. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward. And ultimately, from an industry standpoint, Gomez and Lisa, over time, that ultimately affects all of us countrywide, right? Because you got capacity issues. So here we go again, right? Hopefully not a lot of rising rates, but that's what ultimately affects the industry. But before any of that, we just want people safe. It's just awful because I think there's a lot of connections to central New York with family and friends down there, right? So
100%.
many people we know that are down there. Forget my kids. I mean, everybody has connections in Florida, and you saw it on social media, the outpouring of love and support. It was just, you just hope everything's okay.
Well, hopefully, Joe, next time we chat, it'll be not about hurricane damages and hurricane claims, etc., and we can talk more about New York Yankees and SU football and other topics here. But thank you for a couple of minutes here this morning.
You got it. You got it. Good news, the Yankees won last night.
Yes.
Did you stay up, Gomez?
I was kind of in and out. Back and forth.
So they got it done, and happy. You got to get one more, and then they're in the championship of the East Division. So we wish them well.
Joe, thanks. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Have a great week. Go Cuse this weekend.